Addiction Breaking 101. Dependencies in time catch up with you and alter your life in such a manner that you'll have to accept the fact that you require assistance. Regaining control from a dependency commonly occurs when you've arrived at the bottom and at last understand that you require assistance from outside sources so that you will be able to live a life that is dependence-free. Let's have a look at smoking. Find out how the individuals you know who are long-term ex-smokers truly quit smoking. By long-term, I mean folks who are presently off all nicotine for at least a year or more. You'll find out that several of them had former quits and lapsed, using all sorts of formulas that are supported by pros, and possibly even a couple of them had professional help with old attempts. You'll find that almost all of them didn't follow what is trusted to be the standard proposed advice on how to stop. Yet they did stop and are still continuing to remain solid. You'll find that they most likely stopped by simply stopping smoking one day for one reason or another, and then have been able to continue by sticking with a dedication that they made to themselves to just not pick up another smoke. Talk to every ex-smoker that you know. Do your own analysis. Let's have a look at drinking. Alcoholism is something that can't be formed in simple terms. Alcoholism as a whole refers to the condition whereby there's an obsession in a man to keep consuming beverages with alcohol content, which is harmful to health. The condition of alcoholism doesn't let the individual addicted have any control over ingestion, in spite of being aware of the damaging consequences resulting from it. Alcoholism might be effectively cared for with the help of assorted rehab and support plans that are available. Assorted rehab centers around the world supply treatment targeting the whole life of the individual in question, rather than merely the symptoms. Detox centers have therapeutic sittings where the patient is softly guided to open up his concerns and fears at the deepest level. Nutritional guidance might help after an individual gives up the habit of drinking. One good alternate treatment also includes acupuncture. Let's have a look at sex. It might seem strange at first to believe that sex might become an addiction. It's an inherent biological activity, not a chemical consumed into the body. But even as inebriants and drugs might become habit-forming, so might natural activities like eating and sex. In its early phases, recovery from sex addiction calls for choosing what behaviors an individual wants to include in his or her life and what actions to refrain from. One group, Sex Addicts Anonymous, or SAA, encourages recovering addicts to select for themselves, with guidance from their sponsor and support group, what their bottom line has to be. Let's have a look at drugs. Being addicted to drugs is a complicated matter that's been specified as a disorder that evidences in the obsessional thinking about and utilization of drugs. It's a matter that may continue to get worse and become calamitous and deadly if left untreated. Among the most important things in addiction treatment and recovery are drug rehab programs. These are places that you're able to go in order to acquire assistance for your substance addiction. Drug rehabs are going to furnish you with places that you're able to go and stay while you become sober. Let's look at recovery. In recovery, support yourself foremost. Support and love from family and acquaintances are a critical part of the recovery process. Support for the family and acquaintances of the recovering addict are of like importance as well. That's why addiction groups have evolved, to help outsiders understand the addiction and how best to support the recovery process. It's all important for everyone around the addict to grasp that they're not at fault for their acquaintance or loved one with addictions. When an addict has arrived at the congruous step of choosing to defeat their dependency, picking out a suitable course of treatment is demanded. For most dependencies, there are numerous choices, acquirable and specific options might accommodate some more than others. Since the recuperation procedure for defeating a dependency may be an extended journey, it's suggested that a combination of treatment is attempted, as both the tangible and psychological prospects should both be addressed equally. Do more investigation on dependency treatments in your area. Get your life or the life of someone that you love back on track and beat your dependency today.